Thanks for joining me again. I'm Stephen Cronin, watercolour landscape painter, and this is clear water. Not too much, just enough to lubricate the paper so it'll stretch all evenly. You can stretch it beforehand if you like, but I just do it as I go along. And this is a sort of alizarin crimson with a bit of had a raw sienna in there. I'll be using some colour combinations that I don't normally use, reason being I'm cleaning out a raw sienna and burnt umber. I was expecting my paint to arrive today, but unfortunately it hasn't. So I thought I'd use the time to just basically experiment and just see what happens. I'm just going light red, bit of Payne's grey in there, Payne's grey, burnt umber, Payne's grey, and then what I might do is, if I don't like it, and it's leaning towards that way, to be honest with you, I didn't wet it enough, so I can't quite get these effects I'm looking for. So what I'm going to do is dry it. I'm going to clean the brush, and I'm just going to use clean water, and I'm going to re-wet it all over, all the way down to the bottom, and then I'm going to start again. I'm doing light red, alizarin crimson, just adding a bit of Payne's grey to it, and just see what sort of effects I can create while I'm actually like this. Bit of light red, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson. What I might start doing, just create a few little clouds, alizarin, Payne's grey. Light red, Payne's grey, bit of ultramarine, burnt umber. Some clouds going up there. Alizarin crimson, Payne's grey, a few more clouds up this side of there. Light red, burnt umber, alizarin crimson. Bit of Payne's grey, really darken it up. Bring those clouds a little bit lower. I might start doing. Got my dirty tissue here. So get a few bit of texture in there. Lighten some of these areas. Burnt umber. Payne's grey. Bit of alizarin, Payne's grey. And I'm just watching this reservoir build up at the bottom. I'm just going to soak that up with a tissue. Watch that water don't go everywhere. What I do, just very quickly, paper's very wet. So I'm just come out a bit like that. Paper's stretched a little bit, so I'm just going to pull it tight against this 9mm piece of plywood I fix it to. I'm just trying to think as I'm going along, think what am I actually going to do with this? What am I trying to, should I try and make valleys or CC or what? I'm just buying time really. So this could be clouds in the sky, or it could be sort of mist between layers. I haven't decided yet. I'm just noticing, just dab that because the water's stretching down, just seeping down a little bit. So I'm just looking now where the water's going. And there's no more. So maybe there's a bit of land there. And a few more rocks. See someone on this side. There's a big rock there. Let's see, look, coming down. Another big one there. Little stones coming down. Like a faint, something in the distance. Just trying to crack another layer there. We'll do the same on this side. Got to be very light that I don't disturb this. I'm just looking for something in the distance, but I want it higher than this one. Just to, can I get it a bit more? For another one. Let me get something else in there. So I normally go from the back to the front this time. I'm going for the front to the back. Just got to be careful that you don't scrape over. It's already down there. Just imagine like a sort of like a mountain pass going through. Maybe like a river or something. Just need to put a bit of land in there. So I'm just going burnt, light red, burnt umber. Just trying to get a real dark colour basically. And coming up to just deliberately putting that dark bit across there where it stands out in the light. Just imagine it like a river flowing through the pass, something like that. Just get something down there. trying to find maybe where the banks of this thing is. I'm just going to in, but just basically any sort of dark colour on the brush, trying to get a chisel edge just so I can just try and make it look like a does that look like a I've gone a bit crazy with the scraping out today. I'm not sure if I've slightly overdone it or not. So I've got a sort of river valley, sort of with the light sort of reflecting off the water there. I'm just going to pull this tight. The paper's just stretched a little bit. Because I wet it all over evenly, it's sort of stretched evenly and it doesn't buckle. So let's I think that's it. I'm going to do any more scraping. I think I'll flog that to death. What I need is like just a little figure walking somewhere, just to give it some sort of sense of scale. So what I might do is switch into the little brush, nice and dark. And then if we've got, say, just need to make sure that's dry. I just want like a little figure stood on there, admiring the view. Just give him a little backpack, or a big backpack. Let's have a couple of them. Do one. Leaning over a bit. Climb up there. Just trying to climb onto the rock. And then finally, just want a very faint hint. Just a little bird there flying through the valley. And then all I'm going to do now is just sign the bottom of it. I'm going to just need to make sure it's dry. Very, very dark to stand out. I'm just going to put my name down the bottom. I'm going to call that all finished. So let's see what it looks like with a mount on it. So this is our painting with the mounting. So if we go in and have a closer look at it. The sky, I use 4 colours basically. We've got light red, alizarin crimson, burnt umber and Payne's grey, and we've just various mixes of these 4 colours. The painting, I just made it up as I go along. I didn't really know what it was going to be when I started, to be honest with you. And I see it now as a sort of river flowing through a valley with a couple of hikers here making this long, arduous trip through the Highlands. So the main drama I was trying to get was the sort of light in the sky reflecting off the water as it cuts its way through the rocks. So initially I think I only had sort of this layer and this one as well, and I've sort of put a few more in just to try and create a sense of depth. The more layers, the more depth and the more interesting your painting will look. So I've gone all the way back. I mean, these 3 there look very similar, not the greatest. Maybe just one of them would have done. A lot of scraping out with the card, but I like the effects in so much as you sort of scrape it out there and it's like the light. If you can imagine the light's coming down here, just catching the edges of these rocks, and you sort of automatically get shadows on the other side. And then the paper itself, the sort of rough surface of the paper helps create that sort of rock effect without really trying. If we look on here, look, it's just the surface of the paper that creates that effect. I mean, I haven't done that. I put the 2 figures in here just to try and create a sense of scale. See, if we look out to the sea now, you can see really helps create the drama. And then down at the foot of the valley, we've got the light just catching these last bits of rock that then sort of fade off into the distance. These sort of distant hills, the valley, sort of the water sort of winds its way around and off into yonder. So that's it for today's painting. I hope you like that. Thanks for watching. Keep practicing. Any questions, please ask. You'll see a link to my eBay shop in the description below if you'd like to bid on any of these works. Please subscribe to be notified of all new videos. You can help me by commenting and liking and sharing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.